Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning, and it's hump day, people. It's hump day. Mike. So anyway, we've just been having a few laughs before I hit record. So here's the plan for today. I'm going to work in Bella Futura. Jennifer Zimmermann. She sent me this book to work in. I have already I bought this one, her workbook a while back off of Amazon, and you can get them both on Amazon. And she did say that. Let me tell you exactly what she said because I got it in a message. Hang on. Let me find a little message here. She said that the book is printed through CreateSpace on Amazon, but she does offer a PDF version on Etsy. So, and also on PayHip. I'm not sure what PayHip is. So, anyway, but Etsy and PayHip. She has a PDF version. So, if you don't want the book on CreateSpace, you can do that. Alright, I'm going to show a flip through again. I showed it once, but I'm going to show it again. This is her other book that we have worked in before. And we did this eye. We did a step-by-step of this eye. Hang on, guys. Now that I'm inside the book, we got to do a little adjusting here. Hang on. 1 second. That's pretty good. Okay, so we did this eye in a step-by-step. If y'all remember, I just have it washi taped in here so I can keep it in here. And what I want to do is I found something to use out of the book in this book. So the page we want to do today is this one. It's a double page spread with the girl and the wolf. And so I found a few pictures of some wolves. I think I'm going to do it a gray wolf. And I'm going to do her dark skin. She's got her dark braids. So we're going to do her. And remember in this book, it's half, see how she has it here on the cover, light and dark. So half the book is, let me get to the beginning here. See what the first page, here it is. Okay. So half the book has just white background and half the book is like at night. Okay, and I'll flip through again and show you. Okay, so let's see. Is that focused there? It's kind of hard to see, but I want the full picture in. All right, so then there's this one, and then see how it's night? So I'm going to go ahead and flip through and show you that one is light and one is dark. I'm flipping this page as I go too, so you can see. See? So you have the background is already black if you want a night sky or a dark background, like y'all know I usually do. I almost picked this one, but I thought, well, I want to do something a little more complicated. So I'm just going to go through the whole book real quick. This was my other choice. This was the other one I almost went with today. Well, this one with the black background. But I said, no, I'll go with the wolf. So I'm just flipping both pages at the same time. Isn't that cool? And then there's the double page spread wolf, because they're one-sided pages. So if you want to use marker, you can. And this is the one we're going to do. We're going to do the one with the dark sky already. This one's very cool too. It's like a It's not a kiwi. I think it's a kiwi. You know, it's got that red and black. I've drawn a head of one of these before, but I forget what they are. I don't know if it's a kiwi, but it's got those red and black in their head. Are y'all seeing it okay? She's lovely too. I love this big fluffy collar, like a jester or a clown collar. You know, I love that. The ruffles. I almost picked her too. Let me make sure my chat's working here. Okay, it is. Y'all are just probably all engrossed in the work. It's not a kiwi. What is it called? Thanks, Terry. A cassowary? They're mean big birds. Okay, thanks, Miss Aroma. See, there's a lot in it, right? You get 2 of each one. One with black and one in the day. There's a lot of pages. She'd be pretty as a redhead with freckles. This is the one that's on the cover. And then there's the first of the black again. We're back. So you see half the book is in the day and half is in the night. So isn't that cool? So what I want to do is, on this double page spread, you see these like cabochon jewel things here on the wolf, on the head, and on his neck right there. And I'm going to zoom in when I get to working, but I just want y'all to get the big picture, right? Well, in her Secrets of Coloring, she has a couple of samples to do those. So I want to do this one. Now, in this little step out, she does the just the stone itself. So this one she just does the stone, and then there's where she has the white highlight. Okay. So this one she does the stone, and over here she does the rose gold setting. So she has the yellow gold setting here and the rose gold. So what I want to do is I'm going to do the rose gold setting. Let me put this back because I got to close the book here. I want to do the rose gold setting on this stone, on this wolf, on those 2 spots. Okay, but you see all this other, see all the rest of the metal work on here, all this, I'm going to just continue, and I have all my colors picked here, got the colors picked. I'm going to do all of the metal work in that rose gold. Hey, Jeannie, I saw you streamed. Congratulations on your first stream. So I'm going to do all that. Now, 2 of these colors are one off. Okay, I think she had I forget what it was Deco Peach or something. Anyway, there's 1 or 2 of these colors that are a little off on the rose gold, but they're close enough. I went through all my pencils to do the stone here, to do this. So I have here's all the colors that she has to do this. Okay. So I have all those colors to do the stone, with the exception, I think, here's 1007 violet. I had 1008. Again, I have all the colors, but I just didn't have time to dig through every single pencil. So I did the best I could. But I'll read you the numbers she's using, but 1 or 2 of them I'm using one number different. Like here she's using orange 918. I used 917. So there's a couple of just variations, but they're close enough for me. So I'm just going to tell you, I'll read you the numbers, but I did 1 off on a couple of them because I just didn't have time to dig for them. So I know that's awesome, Jeannie. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And again, I want to use the rose gold here. I'm going to just, do this here around the wolf's, the stone here, but I'm also going to carry it all the way out. And I'll just have to kind of just, make it up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the stone and the rose gold. And then I'm going to do, this is going to be probably a two-parter, and I don't know how long. It's going to take a while. I found a couple of 2 or 3 pictures of some gray wolves. And then, is it going to rain again? I might have to close my window. It's not supposed to, but. And then I'm going to do her. She's going to be a dark-skinned girl with her black braids, and it'll be highlighted in with the blue sheen, the highlights. So that's the double page spread I'm going to do. So I'll just let y'all get a good look at it here. She's calling the wolf. See, come here. Come to mama. And the feathers, I'll probably do the feathers gray, white and gray to kind of go with the contrasting of the wolf. And then her jewels here, I'll probably do in the same colors as the cabochons, the stone. So whatever the stone colors come out to be, which are these colors here, which I was going to sharpen. Dang, I forgot to sharpen everything before I got on here. Sorry. So I'll have to sharpen. But anyway, I'll carry that over into here. And then the metal on her, I'll do in the same kind of a rose gold colors on her, like metal, like collar here, and maybe some down in here. So I'm going to tie them together with color. Thanks, guys. So that's the plan. So I am going to zoom way in because we're going to work on the stones. So yeah, I think that's pretty good right there. If I get any farther in, it's really going to pixelate. It's really going to fuzz. Okay, so, and I'll show the covers of the books and everything again. All right, so first we're going to do the stone itself. And here's the finished stone right there. Okay, there's the finished stone. And I'm going to be doing it twice. I'm going to be doing it on his head. Let's see, how can maybe if I bend this book and like clip it, because I'm going to need to move it easy. Hang on, let me find one of my big clips. Where are they? Where's my big clips? They're usually clipped to a shelf somewhere. And I can't find one. They're usually clipped on a shelf. Huh, let me see. I usually have them clipped around the room so that I can clip things like this, but I can't find any, and they're not clipped to anything. Where's all my clips, people? Where's my clips? Well, let me see if I can find a smaller one here. Well, this one might do. I have giant bull clips around here somewhere that are usually clamped on the shelves. I'm looking around, I can't see any. Okay, so I just want to hold the book open like that, see? So that it's just a half a book instead of a whole book. Really, I could use another one on the bottom. Have any more handy? Hang on, guys. I got some around here somewhere. You think with all my journal planner stuff, I could find one bigger than that. But whatever. All right, so I just want to kind of get the, because I don't know how far. Okay, well, when we get there, I'll switch it all around. Okay, so that is what I want to work on right there and right there. So this is going to be a while. It's not going to be a quick video, and I'm going to relax and take my time. The other thing I'm going to do is like her braids, her skin, the wolf fur. I am going to do a wash. We're going to use Neo colors. You can use watercolors. You can use watered down acrylic paint. Y'all know all the different things that we've used. We've used markers, alcohol markers, Crayola water-based markers. We've used Zig Kuretake water brush markers. We use our Neo colors, watered down acrylic paint. It's just as a base to put. You like that, Susan and hi, by the way. Hey, Vicki. Hey, Barry. Hey, Annie. Yeah, they're both excellent books, okay? So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do is I have the colors very similar, very close. I'm going to tell you, while I'm sharpening, I'll tell you the colors that she's using for the stone, okay, while I'm sharpening here. Do I want small points or long points? I guess I'll go with it. Sometimes I sharpen for a long point, and then sometimes I sharpen for a short point. It doesn't really matter to me. So I guess I'll just, since half of them, most of them are already short points, I'll just go ahead and sharpen them with the short point, you know, and the big one here, that makes a short point. Okay, so I'm going to read you the colors that she's using for the stone. And they're all Prismacolor, 930, and she doesn't tell you the names. Yeah, maybe she does in here. Okay, she does tell you the names in here. I'm just going to read you the color numbers, though, because I can't get to the second page. I'll read you the ones that are on here. Lavender, 934. Non-photo blue, 919. And that's one I think I used. Where's my blue? Oh, wait, I'm sharpening the wrong set. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Let me just sharpen, and then I'll read. Because I'm trying to do too many things at once. Okay, so let's just sharpen. Sharpen all the pencils first. Enablers, of course we're enablers. See, this is why I didn't want the cats in here this morning. I got too much splaining to do. Thanks, Terry, for putting in links. Yeah. So let me get all these sharpened. So like instead of non-photo blue, which I know I have somewhere around here, it's the close second was this one, which is, and I can't even see it, 1103 Caribbean Sea or Caribbean Sea. I have a non-photo blue around here somewhere, but you know, I tried to find all the exact colors, but you know, I've got hundreds of pencils to go through, and I don't go by the numbers at all. When I'm working on a page, I do not care what number it is. I don't care what name it is. I don't care what color. I just go by the color. So, all right. So let me tell you the names of the colors here that we're going to start with. All right. So she has lavender 934, and some of these I do have the exact one. Okay. Here's her list of colors right here. And then she just has the numbers right here. And then up here, when she's actually using them, it has like lavender 934, like this. Okay, so non-photo blue, I have the Caribbean Sea. But see, look, it's almost exactly the same. Well, I don't know if it looks like that in the pic, but it does in my world. Then we have hot pink. 993, and I'm not going, just let me clarify this real quick. I'm not going to keep repeating the colors. As I use them, I can tell you what she says here. I'm not putting a list in the description box. I'm not putting any place you can buy them. You all have to find that yourself. Sorry. 993 and 934, Parma Violet. And again, I think I just went with, is this the one I went through, or did I find that one? Did I find 993? Yeah, okay, so, yeah. She went with the two colors, the purple and the pink. Then over here, Imperial Violet 1007, and I went with 1008. Where is it? Where is it? Is it? No, that's not it. Here it is. No, that's Parma. Okay, I did find the Parma Violet 100. Wait. They changed the number. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to look at the numbers and the colors. So I do have that one. And then violet, 932, got that one. And then over here she has canary yellow, got that one. So I'm just trying to tell you all the colors. And then she goes into goldenrod, orange 918, which I use 917. So we'll get to those colors when we get to the back. So let me just read you the colors. Although this isn't going to do any good if you don't have the book. You know, you really need the book to do the step by step. So, but I'll tell you the colors she lists. 934, 919, 993, 1007, 932, 916, 1034, 918, 946, 935, and 933. Those are the colors she lists. As I use them, I'll tell you what I'm using, but you really need the book if you're going to do this. This is not what I want to concentrate on today. I want to concentrate on this. But I'm going to use this book just to show y'all some, you know, samples. Okay, so we're going to get the nice little lavender out. And the first thing she does, I'm hoping I want to zoom in, but it's also a little tricky because I'm working with two books. Okay, so first thing she does is draw out, and it's not going to be exact because this is like an oval, and on an angle, and hers is flat. I'm going for the idea. Okay, I'm going for the idea. It's not going to be exact because this is a facing front stone, and this is like a 3/4 stone. Same for that one up there. It's like a 3/4 stone, 3/4 view. So, okay, so she has all these little shapes, if you will, just some little different shapes in here. Kind of like, you know, alligator skin shapes, looks like, you know, is the best way I can describe how they look. Okay, let's make that one bigger so it'll show up. Okay, we'll just make that one a little bigger. Hope I'm in camera and hope you can see. It's got, you know, you got to kind of keep this light. Okay, so there's kind of the shape. See how she did this? See how she did these shapes? My second time cats want me to... Well, welcome, Kyra. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one up here. Again, I'm using the same thing, and I'm just doing these little shapes. This one's a little smaller. Can y'all see that? Let me know if y'all can see it. Got another scratch. I got scratched up. Remember, the cat scratched me. So she says, I'll read the instruction here. This is step 1. Using lavender 934, I drew squished abstract pentagons, turning them into, trying to fit them together like a puzzle, but leaving a little space for white outlines that form the pattern, or to make the pattern. Can y'all see that? You can probably see it better on this one. See? They're just little abstract shapes. Okay? And again, I'm not trying to necessarily do exactly her shapes. Just saying. Okay? Alright, so once I filled in the space with random shapes, the next step was to take the non-photo blue, which I'm using the Caribbean Sea blue instead. Once I filled in the space with random shapes, the next step is to add a few splotches of the blue in the bigger shapes. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. And the stones and this part right here is probably going to be one video. We're probably only going to get, in 2 hours, we're probably only going to get through this. Okay, just saying. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit of this blue on each one. This is what we're heading toward, guys. That's what we're heading toward. Hopefully, something similar. Okay, so... And she doesn't do them all. She just does a few of them. Like that. Maybe a little right there. And no pressure. No pressure, people. You can see it? Okay. Same thing up here on this one. It seems to be more of the ones around the edge, not right in the middle. Okay, something like that. All right, next I introduced some hot pink. I'm trying to kind of keep them in order so I can go back to them easily here. Next, I introduced some hot pink to the center large shapes, and a hint graduated into the other shapes. Okay, so let's come down here. Her directions are very, very good. Okay, she's very thorough. Okay, so now I'm going to color in the insides of the shapes here. This is the step we're on right here. I'll try to go back and forth between mine and the one I'm working from. So she's got that in the big, and a little bit on the others. Looks like a few of them. Okay. And now I'm going to slide down here and do this one too. Okay. Y'all able to see, I hope? Okay. Now I blend the edges of the hot pink with the lavender. And let's see. So now we're going to blend with that. She's kind of blending the hot pink in with the lavender. She actually has it down here in the blue too. She's going to go in with a darker purple here in a minute. Okay, see, this is the one we're working on now, or working from. See, my shapes are different shapes, but I think you get the idea. Okay, now we're going to come up here, same thing. That one's littler. Okay, are we still with the tour, people? Are we still with the tour? Yes, somebody that asked whose book it is Jennifer Zimmermann. I'll show you. I can't, this one's closed up with clips for a minute, but I'll show it to you again in a minute. This is Bella Futura. And I just did a complete flip through, so if you missed it, you can go back and watch it at the beginning. Okay? All right. So now we got that step. Now we're going to go on to step 5. See, I'm going to have to like do this so you can see. All right, so the next one is to make the stone look 3D. She introduced some of the violet. Okay, so we got the violet here. Now we're going to do this step here. Actually, I think this one is, okay, she's using two different violets here, 1007 and 932. I don't think I only pulled one of those. No, maybe that's the second one. Maybe that is it. 10. Looking for the number. Yeah, okay, so let's go with that one first. Okay, so this one here. So now she's starting to darken around the edge. Okay, with this violet. We're right here. Then we're going to go to here. One step even darker. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in this color first. I wanted to try to use both her books, I was just like challenging myself to do that. I don't know if it was a good idea on stream because I'm trying to do a lot and trying to show it close up and 2 books, but we're getting there. Okay, so there's this step. Okay, same thing up here. I'm going to add a little bit around the edges. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps because you know I'm trying to read chat too. Okay. Looks like a wolf is pointing in an accusatory manner. Yeah, it's her hand. See her hand? She's calling him. Okay. Next, we're going to go with the violet, the darker violet, 932, the darker violet here. Now we're going to go with this and do the same thing and just get it even darker around the edges. And if you need to, you know, pick up both pencils, pick up the 2 and blend them together if you need to. You know, nothing saying that you can only use 1 pencil at a time and then, oh, you can't pick up that one again. You know, so yeah, you know, so if you need a little more blend, go back, you know, you can go back to the very first color if you want. And remember, we're going to use rose gold metal. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so it's kind of... And again, I'm having to do smaller shapes around the edge because it's a 3/4 view. So let's go back to the lighter one, just back and forth, kind of blend it in. Yeah, Secrets of Coloring is the other one. Okay, now let's go back up here. I'll take the lighter lavender, or it's not the lightest, the lightest. Here's the 3 colors we're using. And the blue and the pink. Those are the colors we're using. Look, wrong one. Want these. Okay. Need a little bit more blue in this one. Lost a little bit of the blue. Let's come down here and check on the blue on this one too. It's pretty good. Okay. All right. Now I begin the gold veining with patches of canary yellow, 916, overall, leaving some white. Okay, so this is the one we're on now. Okay, now we're going to come up to this one. I hope you can see it. Let's see if I can. Okay. All right. Now we're going to turn the page. So I got to take off my clips and flip the page over. This is where we're heading. We're heading to that. There's our goal. There's our goal. Alright, now we're going to flip the page over to the back side here to the next steps. Let me clip it down again. I'm trying to just clip the book open so it's easier for me to... Now let's maybe if I move over this way. There we go. On this side. Let's move that in. Here's my little... Let's move that. That's my other eye we did. Okay. Alright. Then I add some little tiny patches of goldenrod. Okay, I pulled that one. Let's get the right one. Okay, so little patches of goldenrod, which is 1034. Okay, so we're on this one. Am I showing this okay? Oh, yes, I saw that, Connie. I liked it on Twitter. I liked it, so maybe you didn't see. So now I'm going to go around and add little patches of goldenrod. And same here. I think she uses a little bit of this orange color, I think. Yeah, okay. All right, so right here, so she's going through and add tiny patches of goldenrod on top of the canary yellow, leaving the centermost part yellow. So she's doing most of this down here on the edges, like the darker little patches. Okay, leaving the center kind of brighter, not as dark, not as goldenrod. Okay, so now let's come up here on the top. Same thing, kind of around the... This is very small, and it's very subtle too. I mean, Alright. Next, I use just a few hints of orange to warm up the gold. So now I'm just going to patch in just a little bit of that. This is the one we're working on. It's not that much different from this to this, just slightly. Come on in, honey. What's up? I'm not letting the cats in right now because it's too of an intense part.
Well, that's how we've been playing chase and tag and fetch and chase.
Yeah.
And all that. No, post office.
Okay.
Then I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Where's the diva and the cat?
She's locked up.
Okay, and they're right here. Okay.
Yeah, they're running all around like they own the place.
Well, they practically do. All right. See you in a few minutes.
All right.
All right. So we're putting in that few hints of the orange. All right. I deepen the gold veining by adding some more of the goldenrod. So I'm going to go back to the goldenrod. I accent some of the curves of the gold and darken the gold outside edge of the stone with a hint of dark brown. Okay, we won't get to the dark brown yet. We're going to do some little veining. So I'm just going to come in here with the goldenrod and do some little like veining. Just some little squiggly lines. Can you see? I don't know if you can see much. This is a tiny piece. Look, it's not bigger than my finger. Okay. When I back out, you're going to see how tiny I'm working. It looks so big when I'm all zoomed in like this, but it's very little. I'm working smaller than her demo. You like this? Okay. All right, so now I got some veining. So now we're kind of right here. Oh, no, sorry. We're right here. We're going to darken the edges of the stone with dark brown. Okay, where's my dark brown? Did I pull dark brown? I thought I pulled dark brown. And maybe I didn't pull dark brown. All right. It's probably sitting over here because I was using it. Yeah, okay. Let me sharpen again. Okay, tricky business to me, but it is a little tricky. Okay, so we're going to, here we go, trying to show both. Outside of the stone with a hint of dark brown. All right, so we're just going to put a little on the, we're just kind of darkening it up a little, right? Just a slight bit. Same for this one. So it looks like it's kind of set down in, right? Then going back to the blue, I blend some of the blue into the mix of violet surrounding by feathering it. Okay, so she's going to kind of feather in a bit more blue. I think I kind of already did this ahead of time, but okay. Feathering in a bit more blue there and here. This one's really little. A little bit more blue. With a very sharp black. Where's my black? I methodically accent some of the curves and deepen the edges of the gold. Okay, so now she's going to start going around. I like to read a little bit ahead so I know where we're going. I begin to add a little light. Shadow graduate. It's a small amount of violet blue. Okay, so she's gonna kind of do this with black, and then she's also going to do it again with the violet. All right, so now we're going to kind of just sort of accent. I mean, it's very tiny, guys. I don't even know if you can see it, but I'm kind of just putting a little bit of a sharp line kind of around some of the stones, not completely surrounding them, just a little touches here and there, just to kind of sharpen them. I don't know, guys. It's pretty tiny. Can you see? Just the slightest bit of black. It almost makes it look like more little veining sort of around the edges. See, it's around the stones very slightly. Okay, let's do this one. It's pretty tiny. Y'all are going to be surprised how little it is when I back out. Seriously, you're going to go, oh my gosh, that is so tiny. Wait till you see. Wait till you see. Hi, Cindy from Germany. All right, and then what she does is goes back to the violet and kind of blends in the black. So it's kind of getting everything all together here. So we're right here now. Well, right here. So she's using the violet to soften those black lines. Okay. And kind of just softens right along the edge too, it looks like. Softening everything up. Let's do this one. All right. So now the last thing she does is add these white lines, but before she does that, before I do that, the white highlights, I'm going to go back and look at this picture. Seems a little darker because this one seems a little darker because of the rose gold around the edge, which we're going to do as well. Okay, but in the meantime, I just want to look this over before I put the white highlights. I'm going to look. All right, let me clamp it down here because I'm holding the book open. Let's see which way's the best way. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to go back in here with the purple and just darken up a little bit more. Now, I hate to darken up too much on this side because that's the light side, right? I actually probably want even more light hitting this side. This is a flat, you're looking at it straight on. So it's dark all the way around. This is 3/4, so there's probably going to be some highlights on the top up there. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go in here and just kind of get a little bit more like veining in there and just a little bit more darker areas. Even maybe a little, she has a little bit of veining inside of these, which I think that was that last step. I mean, I can't tell you how tiny this is till I back out. You'll see. Okay. All right, same thing for up here. Nice sharp pencil. Okay. All right. I think I need to go back to the canary yellow and just blend a little of those veins. Blend them out a little bit. Okay. And I think it needs just a little bit more pink. Don't be afraid to go back and forth between the pencils. Just because you've gone to the next step doesn't mean you can't go back and add some more. Right? So when you're looking at the final picture here, if you see you need to do some adjusting, then go back in there. Okay, now I'm going to get my Posca. She uses a white gel pen. I'm going to use a Posca. I think she uses the, let me go back to the front. She uses the, somewhere she mentions, oh, right here, the Uniball white gel, which I got that too, but I just like Posca better. Okay, so if you want to use the Uniball white gel or whatever. Okay, now I have not done the rose gold around here yet, so I'm not going to put this highlight all the way out. I'll put some into the inside, but I'm not going to go out with it yet because I haven't colored this part. Okay, I haven't colored that part. That's on a separate thing back here, a separate instruction. So we're going to flip over to the rose gold. But first I'm going to put the highlights. Sorry with all the flipping of the books, guys. I just don't know any better way to do it. You know, I don't know any better way to be close and far at the same time. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these white highlights. They look almost like little squares. I'll hold it up here for you in a minute, and like little rectangles. I'm going right over the top of everything. She's got a couple of sharp lines going down, and a curved one there. And then she has the shine coming in there. And then I'm going to put a highlight on the outside edge, which you probably won't be able to see till we do the rose gold on the outside. So, can you see? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing up here, but smaller. And you don't have to be that exact, just kind of rounds, you know. And again, you won't be able to see the highlight on that yet, on the back side. Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Look like nothing's starting. Yeah. Okay, so there is the stone. All right. Now we're going to, it looks really dark here because of the outside, and we might even add a little bit darker on the inside. But the light, see that light on the outside there around it? That makes this look darker. So this looks much darker because of the light. So we might darken up some more around on the inside, but I'm going to wait till after we do the rose gold. All right, so now we're going to go over, let's move these pencils a little bit. We're going to go over to the next, over here, to the rose gold. Let me move this. How to do the rose gold. Okay, and it's just, yeah, it's just these steps right here. Okay, so let me tell you the color she has, and I've got them close. I don't know that I have everyone exact, but you won't be able to tell the difference on camera if I'm using the exact color or not. It's not going to look that much different because the colors that I have might be one off. Okay, so the colors she's using are 1013, 928, 1092, 993, 1076, and 935. So let me try to see the names of them. Looks like she's got Deco Peach, Blush Peach, Blush Pink, Nectar 1092, 928, and then she's got the what do you call it, gray, the French, 90% French gray. But you can just use a dark gray if you don't have that. I think that might be in a bigger set, which is number 1076. And then she has some black right there. Okay, so what she does is she gives you like the hands of a watch, a clock, so that you know like 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, where to put 2 o'clock, where to put the highlights and all. So if you really want to get that in depth. Now some of this isn't going to work exactly for me because I'm at a 3/4 angle, right? So you got to kind of adjust, okay? Adjust. Work with it. You know, if you just want to look at the pictures. Because what I'm going to do here with all the rose gold is I'm going to use the colors, but some of my rose gold is going to be all in here. Okay, and you can't go by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You can't do that in here. You're going to have to just work it out. You're going to have to just work out where you want the highlights and shadows. See, this is where we're heading right there. Okay, that's where we're going, and it's going to be all in here. So let's go ahead and go back up here to number 1, and we're going to start with the light peach. Okay, all right, and what she does is she has them on either side. See that? I only have one side. Okay, but I also have some down here. Now again, you're gonna have to roll with it, because especially if you want to use these techniques. Here's the thing about these demos like that. This is awesome if you just want to do just this circle. But if you're coloring a page, and that's true, and I'll go through the book and kind of show you. If you want to use this technique and these colors on an actual color book page, not just drawing it, but actually using it, you're going to have to adapt. You know, like I'm at a 3/4 angle. Well, you know, what am I going to do? Not do it because it's at a 3/4 angle? No, we're going to try. Right? So here she has the peach on this side and this side. Well, I only have this side. Okay? But I also have it here. I have it here. I have it here. Every place that it's on, say the right side. I don't have a left side. So I'm going to just kind of work it all in on the right side here. Everywhere it's a right side, I'm going to put a little bit of the peach. Because I want all this to look rose gold. Got me? Get me there, people? All right. Same thing for up here. I'm going to go right in here. Oops, sorry, got off the camera there. I'm going to go right in here, around here, right in here, 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 maybe a little right in there. You know, you just got to kind of guess, you know, where you might want those lights. What's a oops, Suze? I missed something on the oops, or did you just not mean to put that in caps? All right, let me move this yellow out of the way. It's in my way. Okay. All right, then the next color she goes is with the blush pink, which to me is, I mean, I'll go ahead and put some on it, but it's not that, this is so tiny here, I don't see that it's much different. But I'm going to just kind of add it right over with where the pink is. So we got pink and blush pink. Maybe pull it out just a little farther. See how she's, okay, so see how she's got the deco peach here, and then she's got the blush pink kind of going over it. Okay, actually I think I need, well, she's not there. I'm not that, I would skip ahead, but okay, I'm wrinkling up my corners here by moving the book so much. I don't know, guys, I'm doing my best to do close and far. Okay, so I'm kind of just feathering out all the peach and the pink together here, because we want it to look like rose gold, right? And I might have to go back in and add some other touches. Okay, then she's saying that she uses nectar, okay, the oranger color, and does like in the four, like the corners, right? Like see how she's got them circled there? Okay, but again, I don't have a full circle, so I'm gonna just have to go like toward the outer edges. The outer edges of everything. And I'm probably missing some of these things here. I'll have to go back. But I want to try to get as much. Are you able to see any variation in this color at all? I don't know if you can see much variation in these colors. Okay, let's go back up here. Can y'all see any variation? Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure. Okay. Probably a little up there on that, because these are going to be colored in jewel colors too. I'll probably just color these in blues and purples. Alright. Alright, then the next thing she does is the blush pink. That's not it. What did I got this for? I'm going to pick that up from that. Okay, going back with the blush peach and just a bit here. Alright, so she's just kind of blending out the edges, it looks like, with some of that. At a sweep on the right, 928 on the right in the center, not pictured here. Okay, so she's saying for a more intense color, use the hot pink, which that's why I did have this picked out. Okay, so now we're going to go with a hot pink. On the other side of the kind of orange color. And if I need any, she's leaving some white. See, there's some white here. You can go back in there with your gel pen or your Posca. If you can lose any whites, I never worry about losing the brightest white highlights, because I know I have a Posca or a gel pen. So, you know what I mean, Vern? So if you feel like, oh no, I colored over that, I lost my white. No, you can go back. You can go back in there with a Posca or a gel pen. So don't be a fearing. So I'm putting this hot pink on the edge of the orange. Kind of feathering it in, you know. But I wanted to do this demo out of her book, just because it helps for you to see that if you're going to use something out of the demo, especially if you're going to use it on a color book page, where it's not exact. In other words, that exact thing is not in the book. This is probably the closest there is. Well, it is the closest, because I looked through to find something close. And so if you want to do these techniques, you got to look at it as a technique rather than just, you know, a copy. Okay, so now I'm going to come, let's move this out of the way for just a minute when I come up here on this one. You want to look at it as the technique you're trying to learn. so that you can use it on other things, not just one exact copy. Because if you look at it that way, then you're not going to be able to use the techniques. You know what I mean, Vern? I know I keep saying that, Paula. Okay. Oops, I think I was out of frame there. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, and none of this is in the book. You know, I'm just making this, you know, kind of trying to get the shine there, right? And I see where I've rolled my hand over this about 5 times. I've kind of jacked up my corners there. All right, so then the last thing she does, well, actually she takes the gray and then the black. So let's go with the gray. Where's my gray? No, that's violet. Here it is. Okay. All right, so now she's going in, and again, it's kind of like, if you notice here at the final, it's kind of like at the 4 points again, okay? The 4 corners, if you will. That's kind of where she's going with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do all this right this second. I'm going to just concentrate on around here, and we'll go back and do that, because I got to remember, I got to do all the fur here and everything. So what I want to do is I'm going to start first a little bit in here with the gray, like a light little shade. I want to just kind of do right around the, and maybe just a little up into this piece. So she's got a little bit of the gray, and then she goes in with the black for the very, very darkest. And again, I've got to consider that that's going to be light on that side, but there is a piece of jewel right here coming over the top. Okay, and then right up here under the bottom. Same for down in here. And so all this has to be done like that. But I don't want to spend, this will probably take a good bit of time to get all the gray, whoops, all the gray and black kind of blended in here. You don't want to hurry that. You want to take your time and get all that shaded just so. So you want to take your time, see? And it's going to take me a little bit of time to do all this. So, go back with the black here and there. All right, so you can kind of see where we're headed, right? And again, there's like a couple of rolls of metal around the back side there. Okay, then the other thing, let me go back with a little bit more of that pink right there. The other thing, so these might be holes right there. Those are probably holes. That might be holes too, but I'm going to put jewels in there. So I think I'm going to go back with the purple and the blue. So I'm going to make this, I'm just going to put a little bit of purple, a little bit of blue, just to put some jewels in there, just like that. You know, maybe a touch of pink. So it has kind of the same colors in there. All right, now I'm going to go with my white Posca. Oh wait, question. The rose gold is going to be gorgeous. It's starting to take a look of metal. I might thought of how you figure out doing different. You just got to kind of, yeah, you got to practice. You know. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right along this edge. Now remember she had that uh, little sparkle right there, which again, I always tell y'all not to do that kind of thing till you got all the background. Like I don't have his fur there, but I usually go ahead and do stuff just so y'all can see what you have to do eventually. But you really want to do all the fur and stuff first before you put these highlights and stuff on. But I want y'all to see it, so. Okay, see where I put those lines right there? And this one probably will go up just a little. There's a couple pieces of metal back there. I kind of want to round that off though. I think I want that. And then I think I'll go back over that with just a little bit of pink, because that's on the outer side. Okay, and then a little sparkle in each one of those jewels like that maybe. And then what I'll do is after I finish all of this, again, I'll go in here with my white Posca and hit the very brightest highlights, but I'm not there yet. Okay, now let me let this dry. I'm just not like, there's a little piece of metal flipped over on that back side that's bothering me. So I'm going to just move, I'm going to get rid of it. Jennifer won't email me. Oh, you put a little flip of something. Okay, now let me dry that so I can show you. So what I'm trying to do is on that outer edge, have that light, but I'm going to knock it back a little bit. Which one do I think I want it with the pink? I'm going to knock back that white just a tiny bit on that outer edge there with some pink. It's very subtle. Now I got to go back in here where I need my dark blue or the purple. And let's get that back sharpened up back in there. Maybe in between some of the okay. All right, same thing for up here. I'm going to go back up here with the gray. Oh, I got to put that little stone in there. Okay, I'll get in here with the gray. And a little tiny bit of black. Let's blend that in a little. All right, maybe it needs a little bit more pink. This is very tiny up in here. Tinier even than the one below. All right, now I'm going to go in here with the white. Wait, I need a little purple in that stone. And a little black on the... All right, now I'm going to get in here with my highlight. I'm going to go back over the little shine. You got to work with it, you know, play with it a little. Back with a little bit of the violet. Okay. All right, now again, I'm not going to do all this right now. Wouldn't that one circle to the top right be the stone? Oh, you mean right here? No, that's a hole. These are going to be some kind of stones. We'll do that too. Oh, you mean this right here? Maybe. We could make it one, but I'm thinking that's a hole, but we'll make it a stone. If that's the one you're talking about. Okay, so we're going to put some blue. Some purple, some pink, some black. Some highlight. So we got, now the setting isn't done, but the stone, we got the stone in there. Okay, so there we go. So I think we did pretty good. Again, this is much bigger than, look how much bigger hers is than mine there. So yeah, I can see we could put just a touch darker. Nope, I don't want black, I want purple here. Oh, hang on, lead broke. Lead broke. That's the one? Okay, yeah. Okay. So let's go back in here. Okay. It's close. All right, now I'm going to back out and show you some things out of the books. First, I want you to see how small this is. Whoops, too far. Let's go back in one. Okay. So you can see how little that we were working. Okay. So we were working those little bits right there. See, I messed up my corners. My sleeve kept rolling up over the corners. I should have taped it down, maybe. Okay. So, and again, you can see where we're starting to shade with the gray, right in here, and right there. But we have to do all of this, right? This needs a little rolled edge. It's a rolled edge. Okay. Okay, so that, again, I want to keep backed up here for a minute to show y'all this. So that is out of the secrets of coloring. Okay. And this is what we were working in, so you can see the different size how we were working. We worked from this and we shrunk it down, whereas before when we did the cat eye, we tried to do it pretty much the same size. Maybe my cat eye was a little bigger. There, yeah. So when we did the cat eye, I didn't do the fur, I just did the eyeball itself when we did all these steps. So again, you have to be able to adapt a little bit, you know. So for instance, let's just look through this book too while we're at it. Okay. We've shown this before, but since we're doing a Jennifer Zimmermann day, we're going to just go ahead and show this book too, so that y'all can see. She talks about her pencils, different pencils. You know, always talk about the tools, you know. Talks about the different markers, Copics, and all the different varying types of width, line, and all that. Sharpeners, and she even does some pan pastel. Now y'all know I don't do pastel. She shows you a little bit of that in there. Time-saving tips, techniques for maximum impact. So she tells the whole, do have sharp pencils ready, do experiment, do take a break, don't throw it away. Do use reference. There's nothing wrong with using photo reference to make sure your colors and all that are right. You know, so she gives you do's and don'ts and tips. This is an awesome book, guys. It's an awesome book. Shows you, here's some, people are always asking about the direction of light, so she gives you a little demo of that. Here's where you can color a ball to show light. Okay, and shadow. See how the shadow's a cast shadow there. Okay, then she talks about some color theory, some different temperatures, like here's a blue bird versus a yellow bird. She gives you little boxes to practice in. She gives you colors used, a little chart where you can write in whether you're using a Prisma or Polychromos, whatever. Here's the same thing that we did, the picture we just did, and here's a real good example. So here's the one we just did, right? That right there. And look what she shows, how if you do a dark background, look at the difference. See the difference contrast makes? If I did the wolf dark, like black, that would really pop. It's going to pop even more, right? See how much difference it pops? Is the exact same thing, but this has got a dark blue. Okay, so the high contrast makes a lot of difference, and that's, I always tell everybody when they, and I said this before on different episodes here, when people message me and show me, well, what am I doing wrong? I used all your same colors, or I use similar colors. What am I doing wrong? And almost invariably, it's always the contrast. They haven't gone dark enough. They'll leave it as like, let me go back to our thing here. All right, for instance, the cat eye here, they'll end up stopping at that lightness. See how contrasted that is? The dark and the light make it pop. And if you stop at this light and you don't get that dark and the bright whites or the highlights, it's just not going to pop. And almost every time that someone asks me what's wrong with my coloring, it's almost always they haven't gone dark enough. Okay, and this just helps. You can see when you have a dark background how much more it pops. Okay, so anyway, then she gives all just different tips and how to do shine and shimmers and different, flowers, jewels. Here she's showing how to do a Copic blend, it looks like right there. She's sealing it here. Y'all, that's if you're using pastels. You're going to have to seal. I don't use pastels, and I don't do spray sealers. More pan pastel here. Pan pastel on this face here. And then she goes back over the pan pastel with pencil. For me, guys, instead of using a pan pastel base, I'll use a watercolor base, a marker base, or a neocolor. A watercolor, a marker, or a watered down acrylic, which I call an acrylic wash. People still ask me, what do you mean by an acrylic wash? I just mean watered down acrylic paint. Okay, and then pencil on top. Okay, so she shows that. How to do highlights in the eyes. And then here's a wolf eye, which we're not going to do this wolf eye. I'm just going to do my own wolf eye. But here she shows how to do a wolf eye. But again, here's a good example. Okay, so she shows you a wolf eye. Look, this wolf eye is facing the other way. If you can't adjust to flipping this and again, guys, you're not going to get the detail in here that she's got here. You can't get this much detail in something so tiny. It's just not going to show up. You see what I'm saying? You need a big eye. If you want to practice your eyes like we did the cat eye, see how big it is? Well, you're not going to get this detail in an eye that tiny. It's just not going to happen, right? But if let's just say this was a big wolf eye, like, I don't know, she probably has some other eyes in here that are bigger. I'm not sure. I didn't really look for another animal eye. But let's just say this eye was that big. And you wanted to do this eye on this face. Well, you're going to have to understand how to flip this without, I guess you could go in and photograph it and do a flip, a reverse, or whatever. You could do that. But, if you just want to learn the technique, you're going to have to just, practice flipping it. Am I making sense? So what you need to learn is the technique, not just how to copy it, because then you're not going to know the technique. I do my copies here so that y'all can see how to do it, but you're not going to, the next cat that comes along, this huge big eye is not going to work for every cat. right? If you want a green eye, a blue eye, you know, you're going to have to learn the technique. And of course, it's great to practice all this. Don't get me wrong. Practice copying it until you understand the different shadings and everything. And especially the contrast. That's so important. Okay, here she does a snake and a snake eye. Again, look at that. She goes from bright yellow to very either dark blue or black. See that? That and the white highlight right on the shine. You know, most people stop at that. When you need to go to that. And if you're afraid you're going to mess up a page, you know, if you're afraid you got to, let's just say you got her face and you want to practice her face. Make a copy of her face and practice. Practice it with neocolor. Practice it with watercolor. Practice it with marker. And then just, you know, use a couple of printouts as tests. You know, print it off on nice cardstock. Print her out on a copy paper. Print it out on, you know, whatever kind of watercolor paper. And do different practices with different mediums on different paper and see what works for you, what you like, what you enjoy. Do you like watercolor? Do you like acrylic washes? Do you like neocolor? You know, do you like marker? Whatever. And that way you're not practicing on your only page in the book, although there's 2 pages in this book, one without and one with the dark, right? Some bugs, and the bugs shine. Here's some flowers, bleeding heart flowers. And again, here's the gold, the bright gold and the rose gold. And then here she's showing you how to do the mirror, how to do the chrome mirror there with some grays, blues. Here is a cobalt blue pearl on toned paper. Y'all know I love me some toned paper. But again, look at the difference. Let's just say here. This is where a lot of people stop in their coloring. They'll stop at this, and they'll start blending that in, okay? They'll start blending that out with white or light blue, and they'll put in the highlights, and then it'll look, you know, like maybe like that. Now, just look at that for a second and imagine it a little more blended out where you don't see the pencil lines maybe, and you think that's done. Now look. Look at the contrast. See the dark and light? See the difference between stopping at that? Yes, you got to visit the dark side, painty girl. Yeah. And then at that, see? So if you're afraid that you're going to mess it up, then make a little copy, you know, do a little test sheet, you know. Then here's a iridescent metallic pearl, and again, so you can see she's doing the iridescent. Here's some satin ribbons, and this I almost did this page. I almost did the girl with the big ribbon. Let's see. I almost did this other girl to show you those satin ribbons. Well, there's actually 2. There's this one, and there was another one that satin ribbons would have worked on. Okay, it's back here. I think I was thinking of this. Yeah. So the satin ribbon technique, again, learn the technique. But if you only learn how to do it exactly like Jennifer did here, with just this ribbon curved that way, then you'll not know how to use it on this. Okay. Let me show you in my book. I'm going to get out my book here because I want to show you in my, there's one page here. Here. Let me take it out so there's not a glare. See the satin ribbon? See the shine right there on the satin ribbon? It's the same thing, but you can do it on a curve. Okay? But if you only learn how to do it one way, then you won't know how to make this satin. You won't know how to make, where's that other one I just had a minute ago? This satin, to make that a satin ribbon. So you have to learn where to put the shine. But learn, by practicing doing these kind of steps, then once you do a few of them, then you get it, But it does take some practice if you want to do something that well, Here's a, what is this she calls? A pink diamond on tone paper. Okay. But look at the white and the dark purple. See, that's what makes it look so realistic. Here's where she does a gold egg. That one will be fun to do. I'd like to do a demo of this, but big. Like do an egg this big. A big egg. And then here's the one we just did. And then she's got sample pages back here for you to practice on from her demos. If you just need some paper, here. Oh, but let me clarify something. Here she has this is printed on a toned paper. This is not the same. This has even got a sheen to it. Can you even see the shine to it? This will not work as well. Well, it won't work the same as your, let me find as your real tone tan paper. Okay, this is not the same. She gives this to you to practice on, but if you can see that shine on there, that is going to change your pencil. It's not the same as doing it on this flat tone tan, and this is the Strathmore here. Let me show you what this looks like. And I'm sure she's probably working on this, but she can't put a literal copy of this paper in her book, so she gave you a brown paper in here to practice, on. But just so you know, don't get frustrated if you try to do this versus this. It's not going to be the same, because see that shine there? That shine makes all the difference. Okay? But she gave you something to work with, right? On a different color tone paper. But it's not going to have the same feel. It's not going to have the same texture. Okay, so she gives you all these different, here's the cat eye, a snake eye, a wolf eye. And again, it's, a little shiny. There's the gold egg. See, if I was going to do this, I would draw this out on my tone tan paper. And then a color organizer in the back. It's an excellent book, guys. There's awesome tips in here. Awesome tips. So what I'm going to do, now we're going to go back to Dee Dee's version of what she wants to do with this book. And what I want to do is I have some different wolf pictures. I have some references for some gray wolves. And so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and do this segment. I have enough time to do washes on here. So I'm going to use my Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. And you don't have to use these, but I want to show what the box looks like. It's 84. If you get these, make sure. They have smaller sets. They're not inexpensive, but they last forever. I think I've had this set for, gosh now guys, 6 years maybe? I don't even remember. It's before I started uploading to YouTube. So it's probably been about 6 years ago Hubster got these for me for my birthday. And you can't hardly tell that I've used them. They're so concentrated. They're so concentrated. They go forever. But if you get them, make sure you get Neocolor 2 water soluble. If you get Neocolor 1s, They are just wax crayons, like your Crayola crayons. Better quality, obviously. But they're not going to move with water. So if you want, you got to make sure and get the water soluble. I can't stress that enough. Don't get Neocolor ones if you want to use them with water. Okay? So we're going to do washes of color on here. And then I'm going to stop the recording, take a break, and come back. Okay? And with another segment. But I wanted to get this far into the demo. All right, so anybody got any questions with the snowy mountain, not the orange mountain? Does that make a difference? See, I never noticed that, Miss Aroma. Miss Aroma said, let's look at it again. Miss Aroma said to get the one with the snowy mountain. The orange mountain is the other one. Look for the snow. I did not know that because I don't have the other set, Miss Aroma. I don't have the non-water soluble one, so I don't know what the box looked like. But that's good to know. Okay, thanks for that tip. Okay, so I've rolled up my edges here by my sleeve, trying to get all close in. It's okay. We're going to work with it. Okay, so thanks. It's coming. We're going to get it coming along. All right, so now I've got all these different pictures of wolves. I've got some close-up, some far away, some just close-up of the fur. So I've got all different color, so he's going to be a gray wolf. So I'm going to start with just an overall wash of light gray. So let's see, here's my grays here, and in no particular order. I'm just going to probably pick this one. Just gray. It's just gray. Now, you can work with water-soluble crayons in multiple ways. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple. And my favorite way is just to take, well, really, there's a couple of ways. Let me go ahead and get my porcelain thing. So this is my watercolor porcelain, and I showed how to clean. Just a baby wipe will take off anything off the porcelain tray. Now, if you don't have a porcelain tray, looky here, people, it comes with one. You can use this. You can see I've used it. So you can just use this. Okay, I'm going to use the other one because it's easier for me to use on camera, but you can just use this. Okay. All right, I'm going to use this. So there's 3 ways that you can, well, there's probably more, but I use 3 different ways to use your, and that's true of any watercolor type crayon. Okay, you can take and just take, this is a water brush, it's a Pentel one. There's some different kinds. I like the Pentel, has a long pointy, there's different sizes too. I think there's a set of 3 of these you can get, but the barrel, see how the barrel's shaped like that? That's the Pentel one. Okay. And I just like them, but there's multiple kinds out there. Okay. Thank you, Terry, for the links. I got to send you a gift, Terry. You've been working hard lately. Okay, so you can do this 3 ways. You can just pull it off of here. This is good, especially if you want to do tiny areas. Well, I use it for all of them, but so he's going to have, his nose is very black, so I don't care if I get the gray on here because his nose is going to end up with black. But I want a nice, just solid wash of gray. Now, one other thing, well, and I should put something, well, it's one-sided, but I should still put something under in case it goes through. Even though it's a one-sided page, I don't care if it goes through, but you don't want it to come over onto here, okay? So you want to put something behind. And remember, this is Create Space paper. You're good, it's a little, it's not going to be, you got to be prepared for a watercolor washy look, okay? Be prepared for a watercolor kind of, that unevenness of it. So you can do this. But again, if you want to get something darker and darker and darker, dry. Dry, dry, dry in between, especially on Create Space paper. You cannot oversaturate this and expect it to be like watercolor paper. Okay, so you see how little I'm putting on? I'm moving. I'm not sitting there going, right there, because you're going to go right through this paper. Okay? Don't encourage her. So if you're afraid of Create Space paper, then make a copy of it, or don't use wet mediums, okay? But I like to use all different techniques, so we're going to, do all different things, okay? So you can do this, take it right off of this. You have more control. To me, you have the most control like this. Or if you want a little bit more to pick up, then just color some off onto your tray, okay? And wet it down, and now it's just like a watercolor, see? It's just like watercolor, because it is watercolor. It's pigmented watercolor in a stick. And you can do, a little bit faster that way, because you're picking up more this way. Okay, so let's check our back. Oh, I got to put that there. Okay, so you see how it's almost starting to bleed through. This is like copy paper. So if you're not sure if you want to try this, get you a piece of copy paper and see what's going to happen, because it's going to be the same thing, okay? It's going to be the same thing. So test it on copy paper. Again, I'm not staying in one place very long. I keep it moving. And we're going to do most of our shading. We're going to do most of our shading with pencil, right? This is just a base coat. But it is water. It is water on here. So I want to stress that a lot. Because people go, oh my God, mine tore, it went through, it peeled up. You have to treat it very gently. Very gently. The other way that you can do on with your... and I probably wouldn't recommend this on Create Space or thin paper, because you're going to have to really rub a lot, but I'm going to show you. You can take and go directly on your paper and then blend that out. But it's a little bit more work, and so you're saturating the paper more than you may want to, okay? So just be aware. Well, let me zoom in a little here. We're a little far out. Let's move this over. Sorry, I should have thought of that a little sooner. Okay, so see, I put that line right there. Now I'm kind of blending it out. Now I'm not squeezing. I'm not squeezing the pen, the water brush at all. I have not squeezed it at all, except for when over here. So when I put this down, I squeezed out some water in there to get that, But when I'm over here and doing this or doing this directly on here, I'm not squeezing this water at all. Am I using a backing? Yeah, you mean this? Yeah, a piece of paper behind it. Okay. Okay. So here's where I see how I'm having to kind of blend that out. You can't do that very much on your Create Space or thin paper. See? So if I come in here with dark and I want it real dark, I'm having to, really work on that. It's better to do this or pull it off your tray over here. It's better to do that one layer at a time. Or even if you just get a little bit of a base coat and then do the rest with pencil. But I'm just telling you, this is thin. See, look. Paper, copy paper thin. So, and again, I'm not squeezing this brush at all. The water flows naturally to the tip enough to get your crayon wet. If you want more water, then squeeze it over here. Don't squeeze it here. You'll have a big water blob. It'll go right through. You'll peel your paper. You'll be emailing me saying you ruined your book. So don't oversaturate it. But I just want one nice light coat of gray over the whole woof. And then if there's any areas that I want white highlights, I'll use my Posca. So I'm not worried about losing any light. I mean, white pencil will go over this, But if you want those extra bright whites, then use a Posca or your gel pen. All right, any questions on that? Did I over explain? Okay, we got a little flashed out there. It is a little darker than this. Let me adjust the brightness just a tad. Let's see. I know it changes my skin color, but I don't care about that. I want this to be true color. There, that's a little better. It's a little blue, but I think it's closer. Hey, Michaela. Anybody else popping in? All right, so what I'm just going to do here is I want to get these washes done, and then I will thoroughly dry them. That's another tip. Oh, now I got it too dark. That's another tip. If you, hang on, guys. Let me fix it again. I tried to, let's see. Let's go back here. I can fix it better from this. Okay. Make sure it's 100% dry before you try to do pencil. Okay? And I'm not caring if it's even. See, some that's kind of blotchy. It's kind of a watercolor look. Well, that's what you're using. You're using watercolor, so it's going to be blotchy. But don't try to don't try to use your pencils on this damp paper. You will go right through the paper. You'll tear a hole right through it, especially this thin paper. Okay? Don't email me, people. Could you clear I don't like gessoing anything. We tried to do some gessoing on some sample things a while back with clear gesso. I didn't like it. I didn't like the resist it built up. To me, when you gesso a page, and this is just me, when you gesso a page, you're putting a barrier, right? You're putting a barrier on your paper. Well, watercolor doesn't want a barrier. Watercolor wants to wants to soak into the paper. So you're gonna have a totally different look with your washes or your watercolor or any water medium. You're gonna have a total different look over gesso, and you might like the look. I would suggest, try anything, guys. Me personally, I just don't. Napkin journal again soon. Yeah. I know, there's so many projects, so little time. I'm just trying to get gray all over the wolf. I just want a base to put my pencil on top of. Now when you go to do the face, which I'm going to do in Neocolor as well as a base, but it's a little trickier, guys. I'm not going to lie. It is a little trickier to do water-based mediums on top of thin paper. But I just want to do it, but if you don't like it, don't do it. Use something else. Use, acrylic is a little less, it depends on how much water you put in on it, but you might like just doing acrylic washes better than watercolor. And I'm calling this watercolor because it is watercolor in a stick. It's just like you have to wet it down, make it into watercolor, right? You could be using watercolor. The last one we did. Oh, and by the way, I did post a picture of it, but I'll show you real quick. Oh, where'd I put it? Oh, I did finish the picture out of Nightfall. So here's this. This started out as a watercolor with the Jane Davenport watercolor sets. And then I went over it with pencil in areas, but it had a wash on it, the whole thing. Y'all saw me do that. And then what I did here is I drew all my own moss. All around the edge here, I scribbled my own moss in. That wasn't there. Scribbled in all my own moss and then color penciled over the pen. So again, this is watercolor and pencil. And that's where we're going with this too. We're just using a different kind of watercolor. Okay? We're just using a different kind of watercolor. We're using it in a stick. Okay, so some of my edges are a little rolled here because, you know, I was dragging my sleeve over it. And the sun's coming out. So we're gonna mess up our light here. Let's go ahead and darken it just a tad there. Just a little bit. Okay, so again, this is wet. It is a little bit, what do you call it, warping. Okay, it's warping a little bit. I'm just going to kind of smooth it out. Again, if you, I don't want to keep harping on it, but if you don't like thin paper, don't do it if it's going to frustrate you. I don't mind a little warping. Even my Marie Troll in that last picture I just showed you had a little bit of warping to it. It doesn't bother me, especially on a one-sided paper. So you can see it there a little. It just doesn't bother me. But it does bother a lot of people. A lot of people don't like one little bit of ripple. They don't want any bit of, look right here. See how much water I got on that? They don't want any of that happening. So you just got to know what you like. So while it's kind of dry in here, I'm just kind of smoothing it out. I can take my heat gun to it too. But be careful on the thin paper. All right, now let's go over here to our girl. And again, I'm going to put a nice, I'm going over everything with pencil after it's all said and done. So if you like the warpage. So if you don't like, see how this has got, let's see right here. See how you can see a little bit of variation in the paint where I just did it one thin coat here. I added a little extra dark, right? But where I just did one thing. If you don't like that watercolor variation look as a base, then don't do this because you're going to get it on our skin too. If you want a nice flat, we've done marker. You know, we just did a dark skin girl recently. Which one? What was it? I think it was in this one. Did I tear it out? Though I think I pulled it out. Did I tear it out? I think I tore it out and put it in the book. So it's probably not handy. Ah, here she is. We started with marker with her. And then pencil over the top. And she's kind of a light, dark girl. That's, I don't want to, she has a lighter, darker skin. I want her to be a little darker, even still. But I'm going to start with a kind of a sienna base coat, right? But she's going to be darker. But you don't want to just start too dark because then you'll lose. It'll just look too dark. Just don't do it too dark at first. So I'm going to do probably, do I want this color? Let me do a little test here. I think I'm going to go with that. It's kind of dark, but it's not as dark as I want her to be. So this is just, I think it's just called brown. It's black writing on brown paper. Yeah, I think it's just brown. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be careful. I'm going to, I want it to be as smooth as kind of I can get it, but I'm not going to, it's going to have a watercolory look. I should probably zoom in. Let's see. There we go. And I'm going to go over everything. I'm going to go over her lips because I can still go back and add some lipstick to her, even though her lips are this brown. Red, pink, can go back over. And she's I'm going to do her hair is going to be black braids with blue pencil highlight. If you saw my Jasmine braided girl, she's going to have that kind of, I'm going around the feathers. The feathers I want to be gray like the wolf. And then her colors in here, in the jewels, I'm going to pull from here. So they're going to be the pink, blue, purple are going to be in her headpiece here. Okay, and this is going to be the rose gold. This is going to be the rose gold. Okay. So again, remember, this is a base coat. I should put a piece of paper under this. Although this one is, there's nothing on the back side of this one. Because it's the double face page. It's the only, I think it's the only double face page in the book. Spread. And what a base coat does, it just makes it makes the whole process so much faster. Now I just got a big blob of sunlight come through, so let's block the sun. Hang on, guys. I can't fix the sun except for blocking it out. That's all I can do. So she's going to look a little watercolory, right? But again, this is just your base coat. It just makes it so much faster when you have a base coat. And you're going to smooth it all out with pencil. I know it seems like it's repetitious to do a base coat when you're going to color over it all, but it really, it does make it speed it up. In the long run. Hello, testing. What's your name? Unless you said and I missed it. Coloring retreat, yeah. I don't know if anybody's done one. I mean, I've had Darcy Glams come over and we did a coloring show. I think it's on YouTube. Probably about 4 years ago. So I know she looks a little model-y, her skin, but we're going to smooth it out. Just don't fret yet. And I'm just doing one section of her at a time. She's going to have nice smooth skin in the end. And I could just be doing this with the Jane Davenport watercolors, or my other watercolors, or a wash of acrylic paint. But again, you just got to be conscious of this is thin paper. It's not watercolor paper, people. And I don't know what I'm going to do, paint something in the background. I haven't decided on the background yet. The black is already there. Remember, there's 2 pages of each, one with daylight and one with night. Okay. And again, if you don't like just sitting here doing this off of the crayon, then just scribble it into the container. Okay, back over here. And then I'm going to do a wash on her hair, and then that'll probably be this segment. Then we'll dry it, I'll take a break, and we'll come back. And I know it's a lot to do today, and if anybody has to go, Terry, or, I mean, don't feel like, I know people have things to do. I am recording, so we'll put them up on YouTube later. Yes, it's the same paper as Bennett Klein. It's Create Space. Which, if y'all, oh no, I think never mind. Can't she think that's gone? If you want to, ask Amazon to make their paper better for Create Space projects, you could probably do that. I mean, we would all like nice paper on all the color book pages, but they're going to be more expensive. I mean, just face it. The nicer the paper, the more expensive the book. But I'm going to pencil over all this, guys. This is just a base coat, and it is a little flashed out. But I'm zoomed in here so you can see it. So hang on, we'll readjust the light in a minute. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Do I want all that to be her? I think I want that to be like part of her. Well, I don't know. This would probably just be her cover right there. I'm going to go ahead and do this as her skin too. Again, don't freak out. It's a base coat. Okay, so I think I got everything. I wonder if her back comes around. That's probably part of her back right there. Maybe not. I'm looking at the line. It looks like that would be part of her back, but I guess I'll stop it right there. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go, and I just cleaned my brush off with a Kleenex. I just take a Kleenex and squeeze out water into a Kleenex to clean the brush. And I still got a little water in there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is take a black or dark. Let's see, how is this just black? Yeah, I'm just going to take black because it's going to be a watercolor wash. It'll still be see-through. And if you're doing this with acrylic paint, you have to water down the acrylic paint or you'll be covering up your lines. So an instance here, let me show you. Get this going. All right, so I'm going to put a wash right over the black, over her braids here. If I just went over this with acrylic paint without watering it down, you'd cover up all your lines. You wouldn't see those color book lines, right? And let's see, it looks like you can. I'm trying to follow her braids are right in here. I think there's right in there, right in there. And then that's part of the headdress. I think that's part of the braids there. Okay. And again, it's just a wash at this point. And because it's just one-sided, I don't have to worry about the water going through. If this was a two a double-sided paper, I probably wouldn't be doing this. Because it's going through, guys, look. It's just like marker, you know, I mean, it's thin, see? You wouldn't want to do this on a double-sided page, on this thin paper. If this paper was thicker, you could do this and not worry about it, because the water, as long as you're careful, is not going to go through on other kinds of paper. But on the thin paper, it will go through. Which is why I should be putting this paper over here. Okay. Any questions before I stop this segment? Because as soon as I finish the wash of black on her hair and on her feathers, I'm going to stop this recording. This will be part 1, and take a break. So if you have any questions now, ask. Okay, let's take it all in. And again, let me show you this real quick. Let me dry this so I can show you. So if you wanted to add some more shades, then dry it first, because otherwise the paper is too fragile for you to add another layer. And if you don't want to do this layer with watercolor, then do it with pencil. But I just want to add a little bit more shadow in here. Okay. Oh, and the other thing, I just did this and it reminded me. See how I just went like that and kind of flicked it? Like you don't want to flick it over your page, because I have flicked color. Especially if you're doing it heavy, you're going to flick that little specks all over your page. So if you do this method, flick it over on the side. It really is getting the habit of flicking over on the side. I kind of do it because I want to show you on camera what I'm doing, but don't hold it over your page and do this. Oh, good, Dot. People talking about the supplies they're getting. Because you'll flick little flakes of color all over your page. At the very least, just squiggle it. Don't flick it. But make sure you dry in between layers so you don't go through. Okay, there's a base coat right there. All right, now I'm going to, what do I do with that color? Where'd my brown go? There it is. Okay, now I'm going to clean my brush off here. All right, now I'm going to go back to the gray. I think I'll try to make it a little quicker here. So I'm going to take the gray and I'm going to just go right down the middle of each feather. Very concentrated. Okay, and then the 2 little feathers, 3 little feathers, like that. Okay, so now I'm going to gently, I'm not going to squeeze out any water, I'm just going to let the water that's on the tip of the brush do the work, and just roll that out. Not squeezing the brush at all. Okay, and we'll put a little bit of other shades of, color, and her hair is going to be very dark at the end. All right, so I think for this segment, let me back out here. You can see, and again, remember, if you're just joining us, we did a whole segment on Jennifer Zimmermann's other book on how to do some techniques. So we did this little jewel here and this little jewel and some of the rose gold around here. We did that at the beginning. So let me go ahead and take those colors. Let's take the pink, the blue, and the violet. Do I want this one? No, I think I want the dark one. Yeah. So I'm going to take these colors real quick. I said I wasn't going to do this yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick just so y'all can see. The same colors that we used here, we're going to use in here. Okay, I'll probably need one more violet purple. Yeah, these colors. So I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to just put a light little coat on, because all the jewels and everything are going to match his, the wolf's stone. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of blue in there. Using all the same colors and the same, sort of the same technique as which colors layered over and all that. Okay, so got a little bit of the blue. Now I'm going to take the pink and kind of blend that in over the top of the lavender and blue. And now I'm going to take the dark and I'm going to do the shadow. And I'll have to go back and kind of blend that out. See? And now I'm going to take the, let's take maybe the pink and kind of do a little blend. Alright. Now I'm going to take the orangey, let's take the dark, well, let's get the two. I'll take the canary yellow. I'll probably do this whole thing here. Let me just go ahead and do the whole thing. Canary yellow there, and then right on top of this little moon shape. Let's see, I'll zoom in real quick. A little bit more. Trying to get the color right. Well, I don't have it exact, but I'm getting ready to do another segment, so. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the goldenrod. Oh, I got it too dark, didn't I? Hang on, guys. Eh. Hang on. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to shade with the goldenrod. Same colors that were in the stone in the wolf. And then same thing here. Let's go right around the edge. Okay. And then we'll get the dark brown in there. Okay, like that. Okay, let's go back with the goldenrod and kind of feather out that dark brown. And go with the very dark purple again. No, let's go with black. Let's get right in the corners there. Hang on, I need to sharpen it. And then back with the dark purple to blend out that black a little. And I think I need just a touch more blue in there too. Go back with the blue. Okay. Now let's go back with, let's see, I need a kind of the other orange here to blend out the goldenrod. Okay, now go in with my Posca. We're getting there, guys. I try to pretend I was Dee Dee yesterday. So who are you testing? I don't even know who you are. Okay, now I'm going to highlight. Okay. Very tiny. Probably put a few little, these rays at the top. Right at the edge. Remember, we still got to do all the metal. The metal's going to be rose gold. And then probably have one nice shine there. Coming right over it. Maybe a little semi-shine right there. Okay, and a little highlight right on each one of these. something like that. It's Susan? Okay. Okay, so now let's zoom back out. And it got a little dark. I might be able to take the light of the sun. Maybe block half of it. Let's see. I have a big black folding thing. No, that might, no, anyway. I'm going to stop this segment. Let's see. So there we go. Sorry guys, I messed up the light. I'll have to adjust it during the commercial break. Okay, so there's our wash. We did this jewel. We got a wash on everything. Again, she looks blotchy. She's not going to look blotchy when we're done. Her braids are washed in. I don't know what I'm going to do in the background yet. I'm thinking that after it's all said and done, I might have, this will probably be a nice, blue-gray moon. But I think the clouds, I'm going to mist them up. And I'll show that later. On the edges of the clouds, I'll mist them all out. And probably put some mist over their bodies, fog. Like they're kind of in the fog. She's got these little stars here. So we'll see. I might do those in dark blue or purple too. I think they'd look good in purple, all those little stars. So, yeah, the crinkle sound. Yeah, it's got a little crinkle. It's not too bad. And again, you can really flatten it out once it's dry. Don't try to pull on this when it's wet. This is dry. But you can kind of pull on it and flatten it out a little. It's not that bad, guys. But again, if you don't like any crinkle at all, don't use the water. Okay, so I'm going to stop this one and I'll be right back. And I wish I could get the color just right for a final look, but yeah, that's pretty good right there. I'm looking at my picture and I'm looking at of course me is not the right color, but I'll work on it on the commercial. But that's kind of, I say commercial, on the in-between break. So yeah, okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. And again, this is we're working out of, oh, now it really got dark. Okay, let's fix that. Okay. So we're working out of the Bella Futura, Jennifer Zimmermann. We're working out of that. And we worked out of, where's your other book? Where did I put it? Here we go. And we worked out of this one, Her Secrets of Coloring. And we did the little cabochon tutorial there. This is another one we did, the eye. So I want to work more and do some more of the little demos out of here. But, so this is the book we worked out of. So, yeah, intermission. Thank you. Intermission. All right, guys. So we'll be right back. Thanks for watching. If you're watching over on YouTube, thanks, guys.